Welcome to Enlightenment Unknown Life of a Spiritual Nomad. Join Reiki Master and Quantum Healing expert Wes Koons as he guides listeners through the depths of self-discovery and spiritual enlightenment to uncover the version of you we haven't met yet.
Welcome to Enlightenment Unknown Life of a Spiritual Nomad. My name is Wes Koons, and welcome back to the show. First off, I want to say thank you. I've had so many listeners reach out in the last few weeks, being polite, being kind, thanking me, and letting me know which episodes they like and that they've received something from that. And I got to be honest, that really warms my heart. The old version of me never would have been able to do this. The old version of me believed that I wasn't important, that I wasn't really worth anything at all. So I've worked very hard to heal that aspect of me, to receive the blessings, to receive the acknowledgement, and allow myself to receive the compliments. So thank you very much. I'm still working on that. I am so further down the road than I was just 6 months or a year ago. And I just want to say I'm grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sending those to me. I like to keep all my notes for the podcast in one book. The energy of it is right there. And I was trying to figure out, I'm like, what am I going to talk about today? What am I going to do today? I talk about my real life because I figure if I'm going through it, you're going through it. And the one word that kept coming up for me is willingness. Being willing to accept responsibility that everything in my energy field, everything in my life is the result of my words, the things I say to myself, my actions, my vibration, the people I allow myself to be around, the person I allow myself to be. And I try to do that at a very, very deep level. It changes things for me. And one of the things I am willing to do this week is I'm going to go and help spread my brother's ashes. And my oldest brother and I are not friends. We don't get along. And I've been working really, really, really hard on forgiving him, forgiving me, letting go of the anger that I hold towards my brother. Really, both my brothers. There was some unhealed stuff there. And of course, Dennis is in heaven and I'm still here on this journey. And I don't know why at age 62 he's gone. But he is. I did this whole podcast on my brother's death, and we're going to change all these things in the family dynamics. And the reality is the only thing I can change is me. So I am willing to look at myself at a deep level, and I'm going to go up there and see my eldest brother with an open heart. And I'm going to do prayers, and I am going to embrace my brother and tell him I love him. And I am going to have no expectations on what happens next. So I guess we're going to see what happens. But I'm looking forward to going. I am not looking forward to going. It will be nice to have this done. But the cool thing is I get to go down this river called the Murray River in Virginia. It's where 64 and 81 come together up in the Charlottesville area. That is Dennis's favorite spot. So we're going to be in his favorite, most sacred spot on the planet, spreading his ashes. And I think it's going to be beautiful. So you have to go down this river, right? I've never been in a canoe, not really, maybe once or twice. And I want to take Abby, so I can see everybody's going down the river and they look back and the canoe's half underwater. The dog's on one side of the river. I'm on the other, trying to be holy and spiritual, saying, hey, get the fuck over here. So that might happen, but we will see. But whatever happens is going to be, it's going to be a memory that I'm never going to forget. And I just want to tell my brother, Dennis, I love you and I miss you. This podcast has really, really helped me heal things. This podcast has been interesting, right? Going through the whole haunted house and then figuring out what is this show going to be about? The first part was 100% reality. I guess it's all reality. But what are we going to do? How am I going to grow it? How am I going to take it to the next level? How am I going to make a difference in your life? And I've been going back and forth. Fawn was on the show a week or so ago. Before I forget, I hope you like the little affirmation thing I did. I hope you enjoy it. I've been listening to it a lot, so it's nice to click it and listen to some stuff that's positive. And my favorite part of it is I smile all the time. And I always smile when I do that. And the other one was I receive money in $10,000 increments or more. I need to change that because I've got a check coming that I didn't realize was going to come. So thank you, universe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So make sure you do your affirmations. It changes things. I had an unexpected meeting with a famous author, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. She wanted me to write my book, and I couldn't. I just can't write the book. I can't write the book of the story that I just told on this show. So I ran into her a few months ago, and she's like, how's the book going? And the honest answer is I just started to cry. She's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I did this podcast and I can't write the book. I cannot do that and go through it again. And she looked at me, she said, I'll write your book for you. So I'm not going to say her name yet, but I've got this really, really talented woman that is going to grace me and help write my book. So I think we're going to start that in a few weeks. And when you hear her name, you'll know who she is. She is a beautiful writer. She has been hired by Hollywood to help with different movies, and you'll know who her brother is when we talk about her. And it's pretty cool. So the blessings just keep on coming. I'm like, okay, God, I will just be willing to show up, willing to be vulnerable, willing to do my job. And I've been thinking about this show a lot. And I guess what's been stuck in my head is this a spiritual program? Is this a religious program? We talk about God. We talk about Jesus. That's who I work with. That's who I do my stuff with. And I guess I'm just going to do what I do. And I'm talking out loud because I got to get it out of my head. Because I was so anti-religion for so long, because that organized religion I don't agree with. I haven't had good experiences. And I think a lot of our listeners are there. If you're on here, you're probably in that realm, right? And I'm not trying to disrespect the church or anything. I love the church. It's just that square box down the street where some guy or lady is in charge. They keep disappointing me. They keep judging me. They keep playing games. And I had a leader of a local church here in this market do something this week that just was not holy and spiritual. And she runs the place. I'm just like, you know what? I think it's time for me to unfriend, delete, and block. Because you are not serving me. You're not serving God. You are not being holy and spiritual. And my vibration just does not match at that level. We are so much higher than that. And it was funny, when I hit the block button, literally the energy in the room shifted. Who in your life do you need to block? Who in your life do you need to delete out of your phone, delete out of your life, send them some prayers, and then just move on? Because I didn't do it out of anger. I just did it out of, I'm tired. This is not my vibration. I've got a job to do, and I'm not going to play mind games. So, hasta luego. So what are you willing to do today? What are you willing to do to shift your energy, shift your vibration, shift your mindset? Are you willing to sit there and say, you know what? I'm the problem? Because in my life, Wes Coons is always the problem, and so are you, because we are responsible for our energy. I remember a few years ago, I was invited to this dinner, and there was all these healers there, and it was a big deal for me to be invited to that. At least I thought so, because I looked at everybody as superior to me, and the reality is we were all equals. Long story short, one of the girls there did not know how to manage her energy, and lo and behold, it became my fault. Not quite sure why, but I was told the next day, so-and-so was sick after we all had dinner together, and it was predetermined it was because of me. And the reality is, it had nothing to do with me. The reality is, she did not know how to manage her energy. She did not know how to pull her energy field in, put protection on, or whatever she needed to do. So a trauma response kicked in, and the trauma response was, I don't feel safe with men. And then Wesley was the whipping post. I was the whipping post because I carried the energy of being a whipping post still. So at the end of the day, it was my energy field, it was my vibration that allowed me to become the scapegoat on that. And it bothered me. It bothered me at a deep level. And then somebody looked at me that I went to for counseling. I said, I need to talk about this. And she said, Wesley, they are responsible for their own energy. They are responsible for that stuff. That has nothing to do with you. And I'll never forget that. So when you talk to that unsafe person and they say, you made me do this, you made me feel this way, you made you, that is a bullshit story that has nothing to do with you. That is them projecting their stuff onto you. And at the end of the day, say thank you. Thank you for allowing me to see I still need to heal that part of me that believes you when you say it's my fault. And then say thank you for showing me I'm ignoring red flags being around you. And instead of me choosing me, I am choosing to stay with you or around you because the fear of abandonment, the fear of being alone, the fear of not being chosen, the fear of being left behind, the fear of unworthiness, whatever, still needs to be healed in me. And you, at a spiritual level, love me so much that you're pointing that out to me. So thank you. So I'm going to choose to go on this journey without you. And I am going to honor you by blocking you and saying thank you for helping me complete that part of my contract with you. And I'm going to focus on me. I'm going to turn off the cell phone. I'm going to stop texting people. I'm going to stop flirting with people. I'm going to stop watching TV, doing drugs, getting drunk, drinking, going to the bar, doing everything other than being quiet and listening and listening to God's whisper. Because for me, when I get quiet, that's when I hear his whisper the most. That's when it radiates at such a high level, and the beautiful ideas that I can implement into my life come in and play. The beautiful ideas come in that help me go to the next level. When I do prayers and I can hear Jesus speak to me, I can hear God say, "Will you hear me?" I hear him clearly say, "I will." When I ask him to grow my businesses, you know what he says? He says, "Go to work." Go to work. He's like, "Dude, you've been asking that shit and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Go to work." Are you hearing the whisper? And I can appreciate if you don't. I hear his voice through listening to Joel Osteen. I do. I hear his message clear. And when people speak to me, they'll say something that resonates at a deep level. And if you pay attention, it may not be the burning bush that you're going to hear. Maybe it's that song that comes on that you finally listen to the words. Maybe it's your spiritual leader that you're listening to on a podcast. There's so many of them out there that have great messages. Or you go to a meditation or a healing session and somebody says something that resonates with you at the deepest level. It was a sign from God. But if I'm disconnected, I don't hear it. I am willing today to be quiet with myself because it shows me everything. It shows my dysfunction. It shows where I am wanting to disconnect and be on Instagram or whatever, right? Look at those stupid ass reels that are funny. And I'm like, this one's so great, I've got to send it to somebody, right? I'm that guy. But I'm willing to say today I'm sad. I'm sad about this weekend. I'm sad how some of the events happened after my brother died. I'm sad I didn't have a relationship with him. I'm sad I'm never going to see him do the Pee Wee Herman dance again. But I have it on my phone from my nephew's wedding. Dennis was always so funny when he did that. And I love that. I love that image of him. And I'm going to spend some time and honor him today. One of the cool things that's happened recently is I have concluded all the business that I had with my dad. We had a family business. Our family was in the business. And the last aspect of that closed out about a week ago. So I got to talk to my dad yesterday for the first time as an adult with no business ties, none of that. We had the nicest conversation. It was really cool. I'm pretty excited about that. And that is such an energy shift for me. And he says, "Son, that other business that you have," I said, "My healing business, Dad?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "How's that going?" He always asks, and he doesn't know what it is, and that's cool, he doesn't. And he said, "I think you help people." And to hear that from him, that's a big deal. So that was really cool. And I said, "Yeah, Daddy," I said, "I think I do. I think I do. I think I help people." And we don't talk about feelings and emotions a lot, right? And you can tell he gets a little choked up. Then he goes on, does something else. "All right, I got to go. I'm going golfing." I'm like, "All right, Pop, you're 92, going to be 93 this year." But I love that. He pays attention. And I would not have gotten here with him if I wasn't willing to let go of the anger that I had for him, the expectations that I had for him, and forgive myself. I forgave him, I forgave myself, then I forgave myself again, then I forgave myself again. And then I forgave him, and it changed everything. He didn't know it. But when I did that process, when I gave it to God and I said, I forgive you, and I forgive me. I forgive you, and I give up the expectations that you're going to say all these beautiful things to me, and I'm going to be so open-hearted and receive it. All that's bullshit. It wasn't going to happen that way. What did happen is I let go of the expectations. I went into the relationship with an open heart. And he said, I think you help people. That was his way of saying all the beautiful things that I wanted to hear. That's how he could say it. And I'm willing to see it that way. I'm willing to receive it that way. And one of the things I haven't done for a very long time is open my heart to receive the blessings that I've asked for, to receive the forgiveness that I've asked for, to receive God's love, to receive my love, to receive love from friends. My heart was closed. I would say the things, oh, forgive me, God, for X, Y, and Z. And then I had a brick wall up, not receiving the forgiveness. Take your brick wall down and open your heart. Because when we ask one time, he forgives us. Then let it go. I am forgiven. I am been blessed. I have been gifted. I have been loved. And I am loved. When I came to the realization that I'm the one that didn't love me, and I had all these people around that did, I didn't feel their love because I didn't love myself. Funny, huh? The only thing that changed, the only thing that shifted was me, and my whole world is changing. The podcast is growing like crazy. I concluded the business with my dad on a really beautiful note. My health is getting significantly better. My life is changing. My vibration is changing. I've got healing clients coming out of the woodwork, and I am doing healing at a level I haven't seen or done in a very long time or ever. It's beautiful. And the only thing that shifted was my mindset. My mindset changed. My vibration changed. My heart opened. And I received the Holy Sacred Spirit flowing through me, through my crown chakra, to heal me, and together we heal the world. I am beautiful. I am gifted. I am loved. I love myself. I love this job. I love this life. Every step I take raises my vibration. Every breath I take heals my body. Jesus flows through me to heal me, and together we heal the world. I am powerful. I am gifted. I am loved. I love myself. I smile all the time. What do you say to yourself? I believe those words at such a deep level, and I like that about me. Maybe today, get a notepad out and write down what you like about yourself. What a fun exercise that is. And if you were me, maybe not too long ago, that could be a very short list. Today, I could fill up pages. And I didn't receive that from talking to somebody down the street. I didn't receive that from taking medication. I didn't receive that from sleeping with people. I didn't receive that from going out to the bars. I didn't receive that by being all over Facebook. I didn't receive that from talking to the neighbor. I didn't receive that until I was willing to receive the love that I had for myself. I was willing to say, I'm the issue, I'm the problem, and everything that's in my energy field is my responsibility. The people I allowed into my life that I worshiped, that I wanted to be around, that threw me in the fucking trash easily, that I would go out of my way for, was my responsibility. And then the people that would be there for me, I ignored. No wonder things weren't working out for me. No wonder. So I went to a baby shower a couple weeks ago and somebody said, I can't believe you're here. I wasn't expecting you. And I'm like, well, these people would show up for me. So I show up for people who are going to show up for me today. That's what I do today. I didn't always do that. And the funny thing is, we had the sweat lodge, 2 weeks ago? And my ex decides to show up, right? So I thought about that, and I was willing to look at the entire scenario, send prayers, and keep my energy sacred, and I stayed home. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to open the door for her to get her healing, and I don't want to be there. I had no guilt. I had no shame. I had a little anger. I worked on that. I let that go. But I was willing to do what was best for me. And for me, that was to stay away from that and do something different. The old version of Wes would have been there and been looking at her and all this stupid shit, feeling bad or whatever. It would not have been sacred for me. So I had a really good day. You know what I did? I slept till like 3:30. Obviously, I needed to sleep. And I am grateful that I did what I did because I was willing to put me first, not do it in anger, and let it go. We've got some really fun guests getting ready to come on the show. Jessica and Jason from the Reiki Wellness Center are going to be here soon. And you know what? We're just going to have a fantastic summer coming up. I can't wait for it. Lakota is going to be back in town. There's going to be a ton of healing opportunities with her and stuff that I'm going to be doing. And I am looking forward to seeing you, to hearing from you, doing prayers for you. And I just want to say this. I want to say this prayer for you. Dear Lord, thank you for coming into our life. Thank you for blessing us. Thank you for loving us when we couldn't love ourselves. Thank you for not abandoning me when I abandoned you. Help us see the golden doors that are in front of us and help us maneuver through that golden door easily, safely, and with grace. Put the people, the places, and the things that we need to connect with directly in front of us so we can see that and we can step into that version of ourselves that we want to be. And we can heal the things that we want to heal and become the person that we desire to grow into. I love you and I accept you in my life. Amen. I will see you next week.
You've been listening to Enlightenment Unknown with Wes Koons, your guide on the quest for self-discovery and the version of you we haven't met yet.